Hey, how are you? My name is Gladys Kerry. Uh, if you are doing okay, I'm also doing okay. I just wanted to greet you. And how is everybody? That is like the introduction part of it, like how we used to write letters long time ago or sometime back. Um, you start like saying, if you are doing okay, I'm also doing okay. Now I think about it, I'm like, we've come a long way. So I'm from Kenya, so and I'm an immigrant. I'm in the U.S. So I'm going to tell you my journey because a lot of people have been asking me about like how does it feel, how was your life then, how is your life now, and how is the things over there across the river, if I may say so, like Ukongambo. In Kiswahili, like across the river. So what I'm trying to say is like the life over here. Some people say it's the land of honey and milk. So I'll tell you a little bit about it, like my journey, how I did from there and how I got here. Okay, so
No,
it.
I'll just cut
Okay.
it. So,
Yeah.
what?
So where do I start, like the other stuff?
Okay, so you can start. So, when I first came,
Okay, so when I first came,
start over.
when I first came from Kenya, so by luck, I got like an opportunity. So I came with my daughter who was then 4 years old. So traveling with a kid is so hard. So, and then here I am going to the airport with my daughter. I think 4 luggages. And then it was a long trip because at some point we had like layovers and then a delay, which made like after you get delayed and then you can't catch the other flight. So I had to spend about 4 days getting here. So 4 days, at some point so you don't have any money in your pocket because when you come, everybody thinks like you can have food in the airplane, you have everything there. You pay for, so there's no need of you having some little pocket money to buy anything at the airport. So, and my daughter was so bad. She threw up all the way. She couldn't get a thing, like anything down. So, and it was a messy like journey. She was exhausted, she was tired, she couldn't even move, she's hungry. So I have to put her in my, like on my back because at some point the flight left and I was stuck in Miami. That was like the big part of it. So, and then now, you can't leave your luggage someplace or give somebody, oh, can you please help me? And I didn't know anything better. So I put my daughter on my back with 2 luggages. I go like a throw stone like place, and then I leave my 2 luggages. I come for the other two, and then I kept on going like that, like back and forth until I was like I got my hotel because when I delayed in London. By the time I got to Miami, that was my port of entry, and at that time we had like I don't know how many lines, like so many lines. The place was full. I couldn't get in to take my flight because it was already gone. So I had to stay there, sleep for 24 hours, and then now I haven't checked my luggages, so they're down, so I have to carry them to my hotel and bring them the following day. So think about now I have 5 luggages to carry, and I have only two hands. On my back, of course, like for my daughter. So yeah, that was my short like version of it. And then what can I say? And in the airplane, like some people ask, like, how do you feel? Is it like a bus? Is it comfortable? Can you feel it? Yes. Sometimes you can't feel, like the big airplanes, you can't feel any turbulence unless there's like something, like some turbulences, or like there's like bad weather. Otherwise it's comfortable. It's even comfortable than the bus. And yeah, so and then the food, you can eat the food if you have good taste. So at that time, for some reason, I felt like the food was so little, like I couldn't get enough of it. But nowadays, so every time I take a flight, I eat to my fill, even sometimes I throw some away. So I don't know. So I guess maybe that time I was dry as a bone. So like everything I ate, it just went to my bones, I guess. So yeah, and then I reached here in the middle of the night. I expected to find a glass building.
Where did you
houses.
land exactly?
I landed in Minneapolis. So I expected to see glass building houses. So that was in my head, like, I don't know, somebody showed me a picture which was taken like with a building, like glasses, and some flowers, like the tulips and that's good flowers. So I thought everywhere else in US it was like, it is like glass buildings and full of flowers. So, and imagine how people say, oh, you can go even like try and weed the flowers. Like you can get like a job as a flower. I don't know if that's how I can say it. Like, so you can weed the flowers and
A
get
florist.
paid, like a florist, or like, yeah, you get paid for it. So in my mind, those were flowers. I thought like, oh, that will be my first job when I get there, because it seems it's easy for me. So, and then I was looking around from the airport to where I was supposed to be hosted. So, and then I'm looking the houses. I'm like, really? Are we there? Or like, so I'm expecting to see all these tall buildings with glasses. So I'm looking for them. Even if it was night, it was around 11 p.m. Still, I'm looking around to see those buildings. Yeah, when I got home, I'm like, I couldn't believe my eyes. It wasn't like something interesting. It was the same. Almost some of the building was the same. It's not extraordinary. So it's like a life you can live. So, and then that was like the first what I saw. And then, the carpet, of course. So nowadays people have carpets and maybe tiles on the floors.
So you had never stepped on carpet before?
I had stepped on the carpets maybe in the offices in Nairobi, a few offices, but not very many. So that I had some little experience.
Maybe not
So
with bare feet, right? When you get to the house and you take your shoes
not
off?
with bare feet, or like some houses, yes, you can have like bare feet. There are decorations in the house. So we did have that, or even better, depending on somebody's taste, like colors. So yeah, so it wasn't a surprise in that part, but the surprise was still, I was searching for those houses, like the buildings with the glasses. I thought it was everywhere. It's not like one building here and there, but I thought it was everywhere in US. And then I never knew we had farms, actually. So I thought it was only like in towns, like in big cities like Nairobi. So like everywhere is like congested, like cities congested with glasses. Think about it, like you are walking down the street, this building from this side and this side, just so you can really see your reflection, like, because the buildings are made of glasses. So that was my big, like, what I wanted to see when I get here. So, and here I am. So I reached the first night introduction. So here you can you serve yourself, wash your hands at the sink, and then you eat. You serve yourself the meals from the cooking part, of course, or like from a cookware, like a bowl or a Tupperware, and then you eat, finish, wash your plate, and keep it away. So I was like, you can't bring water in a basin. I wash my hands because now I'm a visitor here. You need to, like, welcome me, so that I can, like, wash my hands. Give me a paper towel. I just dry myself, wash my plates. That's what I was expecting a feaster. That's what we do back home. You wash for the feaster, like the plate, and then for like that first night, and then it was like, here now you are in America, so everything like you do, you get up, wash your hands, get your food, and then eat, finish, wash your plate, put it away, and then so the following day, I'm thinking I'm going to sleep. I'm so exhausted after 4 nights, I don't know, 4 or 3 nights staying like in the airport. So I'm thinking, now I'll just sleep the whole day. No, it's not like that. So I didn't realize, like, things here work differently. You go with time. Every minute counts. Every time counts. It's not like back home. You can stay a whole week just laying around and doing nothing. No, here you have to be chop and doing stuff. So that's why even like every time you are doing anything, it's like your time is not like maybe, or if you are going to be paid, you are waiting for the month, like how we thought, like you can get a sack at the airport. I'm trying to like say a little bit, like when you reach at the airport at your destination, like maybe you have a sack there, you just sweep the money to your sack and just carry it at home. You have, like, as people used to tell me, oh, you don't need any money from here, you don't need even some help with the ticket or nothing, because you know what, if you have a green card, you have everything paid for. So you have a car waiting for you at the airport, you have people coming picking you up, you have clothes in the closet. I don't know if they know your size. So you have everything set, like the fridge is all well stuffed with food. You have everything ready for you. The house you have, nobody's paying for you actually. It's like the house is being paid for. You have even money. So
what? People were telling you this?
Yes. Before I came, at some point I was like, oh my God, we don't have money for to go to the embassy. We have this money, we've been told, for like each head has to pay a certain amount of money for the interview. So I'm talking to somebody, it's like, oh, did you get a green card, or you're going as a student, like a student visa? You're going on a student visa. And I said, oh, I got a green card. It's like, don't worry about it, because you are good, and you know what? So everything you from the airport, you'll be welcomed by the people over there. It's like everything is set up for you. Like you have your closet is full, your rent is paid for, like house ready for you, like all well, like it is done, like with everything, like chairs, tables, beds, and food and everything, car from the airport. That's why they tell you, can you please try and learn how to drive from here? Because when you get there, you know, you'll have your own car. You couldn't be able to, you know, you have a car, you won't be able to drive. So they try and they persuade you to like know how to drive before you get here. So I was like, oh my God, which was not in my mind if I was going to drive, you know. I had this perception that if I grow up, get married and all that, like even if I'll have my car, my husband will drive me places, or I'll have a driver driving me places. So I didn't have any idea. I wasn't in a hurry to drive myself around because that was not in my DNA. So here I am, just reluctant and saying, but my relatives came, picked me up. So I was saying the following day I got up, I was told, get ready anytime. We are going to pick you up to go start like doing paperwork. So like you have to get your ID, you have to get your social security number and a few things here and there, and and apply for a job. Imagine, so you are going to use your passport to apply for your first job. And which we did actually, and we are going.
So this is in the U.S. right now, right? Like your first few days.
Not in the first few days. The following day, I got home in the house at 11 p.m. So the following day, I was told that very night. I was told tomorrow morning, you try and get yourself ready. Anytime somebody will come pick you up to go do your ID, take in your social security, and maybe apply for a job. So like when you come back home, like you are resting while waiting for these other things cooking. You know, they'll be going on, like your ID will be going on, and the application you've submitted something in, so you'll be waiting. So in the house you'll be sitting by the phone waiting the phone calls for any, like where you applied, so that they can call you and you go for an interview and then you get a job. So it was like, it's now starting to get scary because I didn't expect that. I felt it was too soon, and that's how people feel like, oh, they feel like it was, some people feel like it was too soon, like it wasn't fair, like they should have been left maybe a month to know their ways around, to like start doing anything. Yes, it's, you know, after exhaustion and all this, you've not rested. That's how you feel at first. You're like, I didn't want to get out of the house. I just wanted to sleep. It was a long journey, but yeah, I prepared myself. We went around, we did all that, and then we came home to rest and wait for the phone calls.
So what month was this?
Oh, that time was, actually I got here June 2004. It was like the 20th of June actually, 2004. So that's when I got in the United States. So it is summertime, you know, like in June it's very hot, very hot. And like when you come from back home, we don't have any seasons actually, so it was hot.
Did you know that seasons were coming?
I didn't. Of course, I heard about it, but I didn't know what it felt like to have seasons. So I just, now I have to live like, you know, it is something you are like waiting to experience. So, and there I am, just sweating in the house. You don't know how to adjust the AC. You don't know what to do. You are sweating, running to the bathroom, take a shower, coming back. Oh my God, trying to drink cold milk. You know, now the land of honey and the milk is there. So the milk is in the fridge. So you just try and drink that, drink water, put ice in it. Those are new experiences you are doing because you know, back home, most of the things are rationed actually. If I think about it, it's like rationed because the food is not going around for you to do like that. You wait. It's like, oh, it's not lunchtime. Oh, it's not a breakfast to do this. It is not dinner. So, but here you are. It's like there's something in the fridge, some juice, some oranges. Not like you cut pieces and you divide one orange among it 4 people. Here it's like, how many do you want to eat? Just they're sitting there. An apple, and something else, grapes.
So that was shocking for you.
Yeah.
That you could just walk into the fridge and eat whatever you want whenever you want.
And there are so many. So it's like, oh my God. And then at some point I'm thinking, oh, these things will get bad. Let me try and eat as much as possible because you can't using your stomach. So it's not like, they are going to rot anyway. So you're trying to eat. It's like, you want to save them. There's bread here. There's what is there, and you're cooking maybe mandazi, chapati, and everything. It's like, oh my God, it's so much. So, and then the food, you think, oh, they don't have maybe. Like maize flour here, they do, even variety, like different kinds, so you select what you want. So, and I came with millet, flour, from the millets, so we have that too if you want to eat. Unga wa wimbi or ugari wa wimbi, so it is here too, so I carried some actually. So and the variety of other foods, so like vegetables and meats. So there I was, so trying to save all the foods in the house and trying to pump some weight. I was skinny within a month. Here I am like I have some of this coming up. My cheeks are swelling up a little bit, so. And then
and you experienced a buffet for the first time, right?
Of course I did. Some friends came over, took me to the buffet, and that's a new experience too. My mouth like went like, huh? So what about back home? Like you can't find an hotel or a restaurant. You walk in, you find all these foods laying around, and the people are told just. You pay at the door, you're told, eat your fill. And I could see people just sitting there. So it was an experience and I was curious. So I'm sitting there looking around. People are eating and eating like plates. They finish one plate, maybe seafood, and then they go get another plate of something else of the same. And I'm like, where did that go? And I'm thinking about the roast the owner is getting, because that's a lot of food being like, like eaten, and I guess they don't feel it. I don't know what happens, but I'm thinking, what about if this could have been back home? So it's like, oh, we have so much food, which I never expected, because I grew up at some point we had like a rationing, or we didn't have anything. I ate yellow food when I was little. That time I was little, I thought I had some eggs, like a bowl of eggs in, I didn't know it was like flour, like ugari actually. So that surprised me. So that's what I'm trying to say. Is like at some point we rationed food, whereby here it's just like it's plenty. You get it to your fill and it's more than your fill. So another shock was about having sugar, like a lot of sugar. You can cook mandazi with sugar or donuts, and then after finishing, they sprinkle like sugar on top, or they boil it and it's just put on top, cover it. And that was a shock to me too. It's like, we don't even get to have even sugar. That's too much, So I did that, and then and a lot of things I was scared about. So if I finish about the food, so Another culture shock was about my expectations were so high about like what type of English am I going to talk about? You know, my language or my accent. I don't have like my accent so bad or my uh, pronunciations, how I announce my wordings and it's different. It's like some of the syllables I don't have them. So I was so scared even to like answer the phone. You can see a phone call coming and then you're like, you do your hand, you want to take the phone call and then you're like, no, just let it pass and then it passes. But when I answered the phone one time, the first time, the person in the other side, I thought, oh, I thought I was the only one who had an accent, or I thought I was the only one. Sometimes I could be like, huh? What did you say? Can you repeat? And then I got comfortable. I said, okay, let me go for it. So, and then I started doing that. So, I started getting comfortable answering the phones, whereby English was not a big deal. So you can do it either way. And that's another thing people call and ask me about. I can hear your kids speaking like, you know, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I don't even like see it that way, but yeah, they sound different, of course. And then watching TV, we had variety of shows that time. And then I was introduced to like watching a movie, Titanic. It was a big thing then. Oh my God. That movie I went through, I don't know, 3 times. It was shocking. It was scary. I swore not to go to a cruise, but I will if I have a chance. So, and like, you know, that time we never used to have a lot of movies in Kenya. You know, we watched a few shows here and there. Maybe The Poland Beautiful, like you get a 30-minute episode. And we used to have maybe Tausi was one of my favorite too. I used to watch, and a few here and the cartoons, the Tom and Jerry or Scooby-Doo. So for kids, that was maybe the only shows I watched in Kenya. But here you have all this variety. You can't get out of the house, just watching, constantly watching. So which was good. So I stayed in the house, watching all this, waiting to get a job. At some point in like 2 months, I got my first job. Of course, in 2 months, I had learned how to, like, you know, you study in the house, how to, like, drive. You know, first of all, you have to do a written test before you do your, like, on the road, really, actually, like, to practice. You have to have, like, an instruction permit to start, to actually go to a training for the, like, driving, actually. So I got it already, and that's another ball game. And then now, 2 months, I got a job as housekeeper. That was my first job, like a housekeeper, cleaning the toilets, cleaning floors, cleaning the cobwebs, like, you know, windows, like everywhere in the house, in one of the facilities. So I did that. So I didn't realize that job was hard. You know, we are used to cleaning maybe 1 room or 2 rooms, maybe the living room and all that. Here you have to clean the entire floor, maybe 20 rooms, and you know, you wipe the counters, tables, you wipe the bathrooms. I don't know how many they should be, like, those rooms have their bathrooms too, and you know, the public bathrooms, you wipe the glasses, the windows and all that. So by the time I go home, my ribs are hurting. The following days, like, I did a lot of exercises, like, I'm hurting. So I'm like, oh really? I thought it was just housekeeping. That's what I thought. It's just housekeeping. No, it is a job. Now that I know that it's a job, it's not just housekeeping. So I did that, and then and then after maybe a few weeks down the road, I had to have like 2 jobs because now I'm getting to feed the money we've been talking about. So, and then I have to work in the morning as housekeeper, 6 to 2, and then 5 to 8:30 or 9, I work in the kitchen, serving meals to serving meals. So now I have 2 jobs. And then what about my baby? Where do I take my baby? I have to take the baby to a babysitter, which is not easy. My daughter is 4 years old, and then I can't leave her at home by herself. Kids below below 12 years actually, like you can't leave them by themselves. Maybe at 12 or 11 you can leave them for 2-3 hours, but not the entire shift. So I have to find a place to take her, maybe some friend's house. That was the cheapest place you can ever take them, because you can't afford to have a nanny or a babysitter. The money you are getting paid, actually, maybe the babysitter is getting more pay than what you get as an housekeeper. So like you can't have as a babysitter, period. So you have to find your ways around. I managed to survive that way, and then by September I got a place where I'm now transitioning to, like, I'm trying to get my ways around. So I have to do something else, which has a consistent schedule, whereby in the housekeeping it was a little bit like the pay was not that much. So I wanted to get something better so that I can get money. Of course, even if I used to, I remember my check being like $214. That was huge. For me, I thought it was, it's small, but when you converted it, that is like almost more than 10,000 per pay period. That's in 2 weeks time. So if
In shillings?
Yeah, 200 and okay, so that's like 10,000 in 2 weeks shillings. 10,000 shillings, Kenyan shillings in 2 weeks. It was like, oh my God, I never used to get this much money back home. But then, what about the expenses? You spend dollars, you're not spending shillings. But it gave me the motivation to work hard and earn more money. So by September, I asked one of my relatives to help me find a CNA job or a CNA certificate, like a school. So that marks the end of that first episode. We will do the next episode because from the CNA it is another whole new world. So I'll tell you more about it, like how I did with my daughter and the other things which we don't get to know and then nobody tells you about. So if you want to know about it, here I am. Have a nice day. See you next time. Thank you.